see, think, wonder as a routine to seeing, thinking, and wondering as routine. So that the students really are, they are, by using that routine, seeing and noticing becomes routine. Thinking and interpreting and building explanations becomes routine, and the wondering becomes routine. And so that's kind of where we want to get to. And that then actually creates a lot of flexibility around the routines because then as the thinking becomes routine, we're able to take one element from one routine and another element from another routine because that's what we want in this situation. So students have gotten very used to, seeing and noticing, and we can take that, and they've gotten very used to connecting, and we can do, well, let's see and connect here. And it just makes sense because they're used to doing that. And so you get the routines as being kind of highly flexible. You get these hybrid routines kind of emerging out of that. And often a lot of that hybridness even comes from students of seeing those things together. So one way then, that you might kind of think about that is when we look at the understanding map in terms of the 8 thinking moves around that, one question for ourselves as teachers is, well, with my students, what kind of thinking do I really want to make routine here? And perhaps you really begin to kind of focus on, a couple of types of thinking of really wanting that to become routine in your classroom. That, your students know, like, we just, do this as a matter of course, and and it becomes ingrained in them, it becomes ingrained in you, it becomes part of the fabric of your classroom, part of that kind of culture of your classroom there. So that can be a very useful way of making sure the routines aren't just activities, is beginning to look at. I do also, again, kind of a little caveat here is, although there's a real kind of cautionary thing around, we don't want the thinking routines to be activities. I do always tell people, the first time you do it, it's going to feel like an activity because it's new, and just kind of recognize that. Don't worry about that. It's the very first time through. It's going to feel very much like an activity. It's going to feel very structured. It's all going to feel very new. That's absolutely fine the first few times you do it. It's just not. That's not where you want to end up. That's a great place to start. It's a very natural place to start, but you want to kind of move to the idea of, this type of thinking is really becoming routine in my classroom, that I can really, ask students to do that kind of thinking, and that's really powerful.